Hey, what's up guys? Brandon here for RC Flight School. Today I have a Blade 450 3D that I'm going to share with you guys. This is something we picked up from a local hobby town in Germantown. They're relatively new. They've been out a few months, but relatively new. The big thing with these is that their predecessor, or I'm sorry, they're an upgrade from the old one. So its predecessor was the Blade 400. So they've upgraded it, fixed a few of the complaints people had with the original, if you will, and we've got the 450 3D now. This one's advertised to be more 3D ready right out of the box. I was down at IRCHA this year, which is a big helicopter meet, and I talked to some of the pros there. I myself am not a pro by any means, not even close, but I got to hear what they had to say about it, and they were quite impressed. For $300 for the bind and fly, this is the ready to fly, but for $300 you can get this in a bind and fly, and you have really a well-equipped 3D helicopter to kind of train yourself on, get rid of some of the nerves of doing certain maneuvers. I mean, I could tell you, I own a larger helicopter, a 500 size, and you crash one of those and it costs you almost $300. So this is a great buy for those who want to kind of get their hands wet at some more 3D maneuvers, more than they've been accustomed to, without worry of draining your pocketbook. This thing isn't going to be too expensive to fix, and again, you don't really need a whole lot of upgrades out of the box. Let me show you why. We'll take a look at this. Again, this is the ready to fly, so everything's in here. You can kind of get an idea of the size of it. It's a great buy. The reason we picked up this one is we kind of wanted to show you guys the value you're getting for the $460 price tag, if I remember correctly. $469. You get a DX6i radio, which is $200 by itself with a receiver. You get a 30C 3-cell 2200 pack. This is a $50 pack. And you get yourself a nice charger as well to go with it. This will do, what was it, 3-cell packs, automatic charging, 1.8 amp charge rate. So pretty decent charger. They'll handle most of the packs you're going to run into. And then they give you tool kits. This is a charging lead, a few tools, extra zip ties, bind plug. You know the drill. All those spare parts you think you'll never use. Pulling the helicopter out here, let's take a look. So you get an idea of the size. This is a 450 size. Some of the upgrades, they got an improved tail servo. It's a lot faster. I believe it's digital now. Yeah, that seems right. Yes, digital. Faster response, and then they upped the cyclic servos as well. The 3 that handle all your other control have been up to a higher torque digital. They have a MEMS gyro, or MEMS gyro. This is a heading hold gyro, so again, a little better for those of you getting into more advanced flying. It's heading hold, so it's a little bit more, I guess, predictable and responsive. Just loads better over the old piezo gyro that used to be in this guy. We got some aluminum parts in the head block itself. This is a half aluminum swash plate. I don't know why only half of it's aluminum, but apparently that was good enough and the pros agree. We have this is going to be weighted hardware on the tail for a little slicker response, take some of the load off of the tail servo. Your standard 6115 6-channel Spectrum receiver. And this is a 35 amp Pro ESC with a built-in BEC, and they call it an S-BEC. I assume that means super BEC, or just a BEC that's got higher amperage rating, so it can handle all the torque of these higher torque servos without comping out, because you know those Spectrums are power hungry, and if you don't have a BEC that handles power, well, you get a brownout, and in a helicopter, that just means you crash. So here it is without the canopy on it. They've upped the battery mount a little bit to kind of bring the center of gravity a little bit higher, a little closer to the center of the helicopter, so it's easier to flip around. Again, that's all in the spirit of 3D. This is a 420 Outrunner brushless motor on it. It's belt driven, so if I take off the blade holder, I can kind of show you what that means. You can see the tail blade moves with the head. That's because there's a belt that runs through the tail boom here. Belt drive helicopter, and other than just 3D performance, allows you to auto rotate. And that means that you can kill the motor, and this whole rotor assembly is on a one-way bearing. So even though the motor is not spinning, this will continue to spin like so. Right now I'm holding the motor and spinning the rotors. So you can actually do it's like a parachute effect. If you're up there and you want to practice auto rotation, that's the act of killing the motor and bringing the helicopter down just on pure momentum of the blades, using gravity to keep the blades spun up. You can do some neat tricks that way. So this one's fully capable of doing that. Other than that, it's a full composite frame. I see we got a 3-ball bearing main shaft, which again is nice. There's a bearing here that supports the main, one right above the main gears and below. So again, that just leads to a little stiffer helicopter, a little tighter. You don't have as much play in the shaft. It can handle a lot more load, again, for those 3D maneuvers. They claim on the box that the blades are pre-balanced from the factory. and that it's test flown. So supposedly you can take this out, charge it up, and it's ready to go right out of the box. So far, so good. I've had a few of these new ones that I've sold that I've taken out of the box for customers, and they did fly really well. I didn't notice any vibration issues. I would say a big upgrade for these is to carbon fiber blades. Now the wood ones, there's nothing wrong with them. They're pretty cheap. They'll take a crash pretty well. Carbon fiber though, less vibration prone, just a little more precise response. For those of you already into more advanced flying, I would recommend going to the carbon fiber blades right away, which they do offer. Other than that, they've improved some of the geometry, the head a little bit. Again, more 3D prone, but overall, it's a great helicopter. It's set up really well. It's as good as they come for a helicopter in this price range that's ready to fly out of the box. So check it out, the Blade 450 3D. If you guys have any questions about this guy, just comment below, or you can post up at our forum, which is primarily for cars and trucks at rcnightmare.com/forum. We're working on getting an airplane section worked into there. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Again, any questions, comment below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.